have a look together. Did you notice any aspects of language that he got wrong continuously? Things that he says wrong? No? It's quite fast? It's quite fast? Okay. I'll have a look at that.
None other than my man, Professor James Ziegler. He was the head of something called the IMS, which stands for the Immigration Naturalization Society. Service. What is Homeland Security?
He says things like, I is. No? He says, I is here. No? Instead of I am, I is. This makes it sound kind of, like he's kind of a bit stupid, huh? And he doesn't know how to speak properly. He speaks in slang. Huh? So I is one of them. He says things like ears, huh? Ear is. No? So you got I is. Ears. No, so if it was like this, no ears, which is here is. Ears. Does they? Say things like does they instead of do they. Does they? In a question. Yeah? Them is. Them is instead of they are. So he mixes up the pronouns. This is the common sort of way he does it. Mixes up pronouns, mixes up the word order for verbs, mixes up the verbs and the subjects. No? So he are, no. You is, I is, no. Them be. No? I think he says things like them be, we is. So listen out for those. He's like whatever you want instead of whatever you want. Yeah. Did you hear the word that he says wrong?
Naturalize.
Okay, he does say something about it. He probably says something wrong here. There's another one. If you listen up, coming up now is the. Did you hear anything about what's his proposal to stop terrorism on buildings and planes? Okay, that's coming up. Okay. So listen out for these two. The word that he says wrong, it's quite funny, is here 2 and 3.
Homeland Security is about protecting the individuals in the country, letting them ruin their own trip. Well, listen, if we knew they were terrorists, we'd pick them up. We'd never let them on an airplane. Let's talk about in the airports. Yeah?
Okay, did you hear what's the solution?
No.
The buildings? No? It's quite tricky, no? It must be tricky, that language. Okay. So he says, here's a building, we're going to demolish it, we're going to destroy this building. So why don't you say to the terrorists, give them this building, and they can blow that building up, and say to them, this building, blow it up, but these buildings over here, no. Right? Okay, so he's saying, well, that's just not going to work because it won't achieve their purposes. Yeah. And the planes, did you not hear about the planes? How is he going to stop it on planes? No? I mean, I think we need to practice more listening, get a bit of fluency in listening. Did you?
I heard something that why can the people be separate from the plane? I don't know. The terrorist could be in another plane alone.
Exactly, that's his solution. That's his solution, right? You say to the terrorists, here is your plane, and if they blow it up, then they're going to ruin their holiday. He says they're going to ruin their trip. Huh? He says, with the separate planes for the terrorists, and then, the normal people on the other plane. And he says, well, if we knew they were terrorists, then, yeah, we would never let them on the flight in the first place. The word that he says wrong, did you hear? The word that he says wrong? Terrorist. He says terrorist. If the terrorists talk differently, okay? Right. Okay, how does he think? I think this might actually be next. 5. I think sniffer dogs is next. Why? Why is he worried? Why does he think it's a problem to use the dogs in the airport?
Those machines that beep when you've got coins in your pocket. Why don't they develop a machine that beeps if he was carrying a gun? Well, it does. A gun will also set it off, or a knife.
Then it's mainly designed for coins and keys.
No. It's designed for guns and knives.
Something the problem.
Yeah. So what's the problem with using dogs? No. What's the difficult thing?
It's so difficult. The dog said that somebody has a phone.
Why? Why can't he say?
The dogs just sniff something, whatever, and point.
So they can't speak English.
Yeah.
That's what he says. He says 99% of dogs can't speak English. No? So how are they going to tell you? How are they going to let you know? Right? Okay. This is strange questions. These are very stupid questions to see how the people react. Huh? Let's do this one. How does he think that he can attack the White House? A strange way that would never happen. It would never happen in real life. What's his strange idea that they could attack the White House?
Well, for one thing, it's kind of hard to hijack a train and run it into something. Go a bomb in it. Well, they're trained to only respond to a certain smell. How come there ain't much security on trains? Well, for one thing, it's kind of hard to hijack a train and run it into something. But what's to stop the terrorist taking over a train, driving it into, God forbid, the White House? We can't. There are no tracks. Oh, there are no tracks to the White House. Not that we know. No, they're not. How does he know they ain't been building one? The White House is so protected, there's no way of building tracks to the White House with the Secret Service and all the barriers that are around it. We'd have to have someone in on it, on the inside. But they would have to build them on... Someone who's like, No. But even that, they'd have to build them on top of the ground, and they'd have to go right to the White House. There's no way of being on the inside of that.
Did you get it?
With a train?
With a train. With a train, right? Yeah. And he says, well, you can't attack the White House with a train, there are no tracks. Right? Okay. Okay, so let's go down to 8. Did you hear this the first time? What does he want to learn to defend against? There are two things, at least 2 things that he wants to defend against. He says, how do I stop this? Okay? Did you get the 2 things? Okay? And what's the word, what's he use now to defend? What's the teacher says, oh, you just do this, What does he say?
To get a green card. A Brent marries an American, let's say. You can get a green card, but you're going to have to wait for 2 years. If you ain't managed to marry an American, but you just got jiggy with like loads of them, can you still get a green card? No, but if you was at... Does you understand? I understand exactly what you're saying. The answer is no. Family relationships are very important to our immigration law. And if it's just a friend that you've got a special relationship... Yeah, baby! Let's get special.
He's talking about getting a green card, no?
That's not going to get you in. That's a shame. Well... Because that's halfway there, you know what I'm saying?
Ah, he is.
That's the way the law is. So, yo! Listen up, you better check out the words of my man, James Ziegler. What's that?
Okay, so what does he want to defend against? Show me how to stop this. And what's the solution? What's he showing?
with you. What it mean self-defense? Well, if someone, it's more than just if someone attacks me. If someone attacks me violently, I can protect myself from getting hurt. What is the best move to silence a woman? I don't know that you can silence a woman. What is the best way to defend from a Jew? Well, we don't, if people have different beliefs, yes. If they believe in God, Allah, Muhammad, Jesus, whatever they believe in, yes. We try to respect that they believe that way. Yes. But how do you stop their claw? Claw? You say claw? If someone got a claw, yes, and the Jew claw. You just knock away. Knock away. So if the Jew come with a claw, you knock away. With a claw? Knock away. Claw? Knock away. Okay. They can do two hands. And you can do two hands. Very good. Or you can knock away this way. Either way, doesn't matter. And if the Jew come? Knock away. And the Jew come? You knock away. The Jew come with a claw. With a claw. With a claw. What is the best way to stop my wife to a rape on me? Gosh, I don't know. Maybe if it's your wife, show her more love. Show me what you say. Okay. Hold me down, boys, like that. Alright, and you're on top. Yes. Okay, now. If she leans over, she's off balance. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay. What does he want to defend against?
Silence a woman?
Yeah, he wants to say, what move is best to silence a woman? He says, I don't think you can silence, and his answer is good as well. I don't think you can silence a woman. I didn't think of it like that, just listen to it now. Okay, what's other thing? Jews, right? Jew, and the Jew claw. Huh? Have you seen Borat? Have you seen Borat?
No.
Okay, you should see Borat. It's his thing, no? Okay, so that's we'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, but yeah, those are the two things. And what's the action? What's the defense? What does he say? He just against the Jew claw, against the claw. He says, what's the defense? Do you hear what he says? Just.
Yeah, I can't remember. Walk away. Oh yeah.
Knock away. Knock away. Just knock away. Okay, did you look at some categories of humour with Alison? Mm-hmm. But do you have an idea what category of humour this is? What category would you call this humour?
Smart people laugh.
No, I don't think you looked at categories. So she had something about that, but she must have just not included it. So maybe a satire is making fun of things, huh? Mm-hmm. Do you think it's for everyone?
For everyone?
No.
Not really, no? It's adults, no? What word do you think, like, if people get upset about it, we don't really call it upsetting humour. We can say another word. Do you have any idea what that word might be?
Black humour?
Black humour is black humour because it's talking about serious things, huh? It's definitely talking about serious things. That was one of the categories that she had. She had satire, black humour. Mm-hmm. Okay, so yeah, this could be black humour. I would say maybe offensive. Would you think it's offensive to some people? Do you think some people would take offence? Uh-huh. Do you think that's something in comedy in general? That it's sometimes offensive? Like, is that what makes comedy good sometimes? Or do you think that's not something that's good about comedy so much? That it can be offensive?
In this show?
Just in general, no? Do you think comedy should sometimes push the limits a little bit? It has to push the limits a bit, or it should not really take risks? Huh?
In general, I think it could be both.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because it is quite offensive, no? And he's talking about my wife. How do I stop my wife from raping me? And it's not, is that? So it's black humour and it's satire, and some people might find it offensive, no? I think you should see some of his movies. He's Sacha Baron Cohen. You should definitely watch Borat. No? Have you seen The Dictator?
No.
There's a lot of satire, no? He's making fun of very serious things, no? So I think a lot of people do get offended. Obviously, like you can't insult Jews. No? You can't just go around saying, "Oh, women shut up, insult Jews." And in a way that's what it's so absurd that he would say that. That's kind of what makes it funny, no? And it's weird, no? It's strange that we laugh at things that kind of can be offensive, no? Or just rude, no? Or nasty, or you know. Anyway, I would like to go on more into it, and maybe next time we need to do something a little bit, the listening a little bit easier.
Okay.
Because I think it is quite difficult, huh?
Yeah.
And I think it's probably already 8 or 9. Probably
In the slang, always talk like that, or just him?
No, that's another thing. He's making fun of people who do talk like that. Huh? So he's also sort of pretending to be kind of, you know, an uneducated, a certain class of people. Yeah, so kind of like street, no? Kind of street people. Like maybe like you see kids here, no? And the way they dress, and you say, okay, he's like Charlie, no? He's like you know, he's like that kind of person, no? But then you talk to him, he might be really smart, or you talk to him, he might be, you know, lots of slang and lots of. So he's using that character to sort of see the reactions from people and see how they treat him.
Okay.
I recommend the show. He interviews a lot of really important people and just says like very stupid things, like just really, yeah. So it's quite funny. Okay.